So, the Kansas City Chiefs just added another wide receiver to the mix, and let's be honest, this one caught a few people off guard. Hal Presley, a name that might not mean much to casual fans, is now officially part of the Chiefs roster. And instantly, the question everyone's asking is, why now? It's no secret that wide receiver has been one of the biggest talking points around this team all offseason. With the Rashee Rice situation still looming, Kadarius Toney's inconsistency, and questions about how the depth chart will actually shake out, Brett Veach and Andy Reid clearly aren't taking any chances. Adding Presley this late in the offseason? It's not just a random move, it's calculated. There's something they're seeing, or maybe something they're anticipating. Could it be injury insurance? A response to whispers that another guy in the room might not be ready? Or maybe this is about putting pressure on the lower half of the WR depth chart to perform now, not later. The timing of this move, just before training camp heats up, feels strategic. You don't make signings in mid-July unless you're thinking 3 steps ahead. And yeah, maybe Presley won't be a headliner. Maybe he's just a camp body. But if we've learned anything over the past few years with this franchise, it's that no move is ever just a move. There's usually a layer underneath. Sometimes 2. Now, here's where I want to bring you in. Were you expecting the Chiefs to go out and sign another wide receiver before camp kicks off? Just drop a simple yes or no in the comments so we can see how Chiefs Kingdom is feeling. I'll be reading every one of them. And if you're someone who lives and breathes Chiefs football, if you want every piece of news, rumors, and breakdowns before the rest of the internet catches up, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. We're on a mission to hit 5,000 subscribers here at Total Chiefs News, and I'd love for you to be part of the family making that happen. All right, now let's get to know this new guy a little better. Because Hal Presley might not be a household name yet, but the Chiefs clearly saw something worth taking a chance on. All right, let's talk about Hal Presley, the newest face in Kansas City's wide receiver room. If you haven't heard much about him before now, you're not alone. But that doesn't mean he's just another name on a list. The Chiefs clearly saw something in Presley that made them move quickly, and with Veach pulling the trigger, it's worth taking a closer look. Presley's college career started at Baylor, but he really started to flash once he transferred to TCU. He's 6'3", has decent speed, and shows flashes of vertical playmaking ability. He's not a polished route runner yet, and he's not a burner like Tyreek Hill, but he brings physicality and size. 2 things the Chiefs' current receiver room could definitely use more of. At TCU, he wasn't putting up 1,000-yard seasons, but he was steady. He made key catches in high-pressure moments, particularly in red zone situations. That's something that matters in Andy Reid's offense, especially when Mahomes is extending plays. If Presley can become a reliable target on broken plays, there's always a chance he finds a niche role on this team. Now let's be real. Presley went undrafted for a reason. He's raw. He's got to prove he can handle the speed, complexity, and physicality of the NFL. But that's what training camp is for. And if you followed this team closely, you know that undrafted guys absolutely can make it here. Just ask guys like Justin Ross and even Isaiah Pacheco, though Pacheco was drafted. The point is, KC gives opportunities to guys who grind. And when you look at the current competition, Presley might be fighting for the WR6 spot. That's a long shot, but it's not impossible. Especially with Rashee Rice's status uncertain and Skyway Moore still having a lot to prove, the back end of the receiver room is far from locked in. Let me ask you this. If you had to choose just one trait for a wide receiver to thrive with Mahomes, what would it be? Speed, size, route running, hands? Drop your answer below. I'm really curious to see what the real fans think. And hey, if you're enjoying getting these kinds of deep dives into every name on the Chiefs' radar, go ahead and give this video a like. It's a small click for you, but it goes a long way in helping us keep this channel growing strong. Next up, we need to talk about Justin Ross. Because whether we want to admit it or not, Presley's arrival might mean something's up. Now let's address the elephant in the room, Justin Ross. Because let's be honest, as soon as the news broke that the Chiefs were signing Hal Presley, the first thought a lot of us had was, what does this mean for Ross? Ross has been one of the most hyped underdog stories on this team in years. Coming out of Clemson, his talent was never in question. The guy was once projected to be a first-round pick before injuries and medical red flags pushed him off draft boards. The Chiefs took a shot on him, fans rallied behind him, and ever since, we've been waiting to see that breakout moment. But the longer we wait, the more the window seems to be closing. And now, with Hal Presley entering the picture, it's fair to wonder if the Chiefs are preparing for the possibility that Ross won't be part of the equation much longer. Let's not forget, Ross has had ongoing legal issues since last year. Nothing has fully resolved yet, and the NFL hasn't made any public disciplinary decisions. But the league doesn't usually tip its hand early. If a suspension is coming, or if the Chiefs know something we don't, then Presley might not just be insurance. He might be the replacement plan. From a roster-building standpoint, you always have to think about availability. Talent is great, but if a player can't stay healthy or can't stay on the field for off-the-field reasons, then the team has to look elsewhere. That's just the business. And for all the hype Ross has gotten, the production hasn't matched yet. He's shown flashes in practice, a few promising preseason plays, but nothing consistent. Now, nobody's writing him off completely, but when you start to bring in young guys like Presley, it definitely changes the temperature in the room. So, let me ask you, do you still believe Justin Ross will have a future in Kansas City? If you're still pulling for him, type Ross in the comments. Let's see who's still riding with him. And hey, if you're new here and you appreciate honest Chiefs coverage, the good, the bad, and the uncertain, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe now and be part of that push to 5,000 real fans who live and breathe this team just like you. Coming up next, we're going to look at this move from the front office's perspective. Because if you think Brett Veach just pulled a random signing out of a hat, you haven't been paying attention. By now, Chiefs Kingdom knows one thing. For sure, when Brett Veach makes a move, it's never just a throwaway. This guy doesn't operate on impulse. So when the Chiefs sign someone like Hal Presley in mid-July, right before training camp, you better believe there's a strategy behind it. Think about Veach's history. He's always playing the long game. Remember when Rashee Rice wasn't even on most people's radar heading into the draft? Now he's potentially the WR1 depending on how the off-field stuff shakes out. Veach sees potential where others don't. That's his thing. So when he brings in Presley, a tall, physical receiver with upside and college experience at big programs, it's not just to fill a camp spot. It's likely about competition, pressure, letting the young guys know that no spot is safe, not even WR6 or WR7. And with uncertainty around Rice and Ross, creating that tension in the room might be exactly what's needed. Presley could be a guy that surprises us, or maybe he just pushes someone else to elevate their game. Either way, Veach wins. That's the brilliance of it. It's a no-risk move that could pay off in a big way if the kid shows up strong. Quick question for you. Do you think Brett Veach is the best GM in the NFL right now? Yes or no? Hit the comments and let's get a vote going. And if you respect the way Veach continues to build this roster, even in the smallest ways, give this video a like. It helps way more than you think, and it shows us you're rocking with us all the way. All right, let's finish strong. In the final stretch, I'll tell you what to watch as training camp unfolds, and why Presley's name might pop up more than expected. So what happens next? Now that Hal Presley is officially a Chief, all eyes turn to training camp, and here's where things get interesting. Presley is walking into a crowded receiver room, no doubt about it. But crowded doesn't always mean stable. With Rashee Rice's situation unresolved, Justin Ross's future up in the air, and guys like Sky Moore, Xavier, Worthy, and Justin Watson still carving out roles, There's a lot that could shift in the next few weeks, and that's where Presley has a real shot. If he flashes during camp, even in limited reps, he could earn extended looks in preseason. And as we've seen time and time again, it only takes one injury, one suspension, or one surprise cut to open a door wide open. So keep your eyes on Presley's name, especially during those first 2 preseason games. Also, don't sleep on the ripple effect here. If Presley plays well, it might put pressure on a guy like Cornell Powell or Nico Remigio to step up fast. These WR6 and WR7 battles matter. They're how teams find hidden gems. Let me ask you this. Who's your dark horse pick to make the 53-man roster at wide receiver this year? Drop your name below. I'll pin one of the best predictions before the season kicks off. And if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to subscribe. We're building something special here at Total Chiefs News. And with your help, we're closing in on that 5,000 subscriber milestone.